Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. Make videos for NBA. All these videos, they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. I'll just have it linked down below. You can ask me questions about the slate. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. Yeah, I'll have a link down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right there. So let's take a look at my lineup from tonight. Did not get into the cash tonight. My 1v1 was what cost me from the cash tonight. I was debating Dorian Finney-Smith or Dylan Brooks. And I knew Dorian Finney-Smith was going to be uber chalk, which he was. He was like 30% owned. So I thought Dylan Brooks and Dorian Finney-Smith were similar plays. One was just chalk and one was not. So I went with the lower owned option, which I think is always the best strategy when two guys project similar. One guy's giga chalk, one guy's not. I'm always just going to go with the lower owned option there, right? But Core did good. Core's campaign, Luka Doncic and Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill had a bit of a letdown game. Did play a lot, though. And then I rounded out my lineup with Tobias Harris, Kelly Olynyk, Nicholas Claxton, Miles McBride, and Dylan Brooks. That one pivot is what cost me from the cash tonight. After having a good day yesterday, did not cash tonight. Hopefully you guys had a great night tonight. And if you're looking for more in-depth content, I'll have my Discord link down below. All right, let's get into the slate. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game slate here. You guys want to go backwards again? Let's go backwards. Let's do it again here. Fun to change things up a little bit sometimes. All right, I had to take a sip of water. Let me hit the vape real quick. Let's get into this. Good spot here for the Sacramento Kings. So, minutes-wise for the main Kings, we know Monk's going to play around 30 minutes off the bench. We know Fox is going to play a ton. We know Sponis is going to play a ton. We know Herter's probably going to play around anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. Keegan Murray going to play huge minutes. Harrison Barnes, anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Could play more. I don't know if I get to anyone off the bench here outside of Trey Lyles. I think Trey Lyles is fine for value. She'll play around 20 minutes. If you do need a punt, I have a feeling better value will open up, though. But with that being said, I really like De'Aaron Fox, 8.6K. She'll play 40 minutes. Guard's been absolutely shredding the Los Angeles Lakers, so I am pretty high on De'Aaron Fox at 8.6K. I think Sabonis is a really good spend up as well. He's been on another level of late. Don't mind the spot here up against the Lakers either. This game should be played fast, so I like the both top two guys here for the Sacramento Kings quite a bit. Malik Monk has a ceiling off the bench. I would say his price is probably right, but he does have this type of ceiling. This was with Fox out, but still, you kind of get the point. Like, he does have 40 fantasy point upside. He could win you a tournament. He'll probably be low owned just because of the price point. Still in play, but more of a large field tournament play for me. I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to play him in my one lineup, but yeah, still firmly in play. Keegan Murray should play high 30s minutes. I don't mind him. I think he's decent at 5.8K as well. Good rebounder. Should play big minutes. Can go on streaks when he's scoring the ball really well. That's when he really has serious games. So good spot as well going up against the Lakers. So I don't mind it at all. Kevin Huerter is fine value, just like there for me. You know, sometimes he'll get his minutes trolled. Sometimes he'll play a ton. This is Fox out. You have to take that out. But there are games where he does get extended and he does have a ceiling. So I'm intrigued by Kevin Huerter as a contrarian play. I'm not going to play Harrison Barnes on this slate. You can pay me to play a guy like Harrison Barnes on this slate. All right, moving on to the Lakers. So AD, LeBron, both questionable. I expect both to play here. It's a good spot. I think LeBron James is actually a pretty good play, and I think he'll be somewhat popular tomorrow. I like the spot quite a bit for him, and he's probably going to play high 30s minutes. He's stuffing the stat sheet of late as well. Legit has triple-double upside. I know he hasn't done it a ton this year. I think he's had like 1 or 2, but I think this is a spot where he could absolutely feast. So I do like LeBron James here. Now, straight up, I definitely do prefer Anthony Davis, but I think both look fine here. But I do think LeBron will pick up some ownership tomorrow. I think Sharks will know. Dealer is priced right. Reeves is fine. Rui going to play big minutes, but I think he's priced right. I don't know if I go to much else here. Cam Reddish, no thank you. Did he have a good game last game? I want to say no. No, he did not. All right, moving on to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is questionable. This is the late night hammer, these two games. This should be fun. Jay Crowder, probable. So if Giannis is in, I think Giannis is a good spend up. I mean, he should be able to feast on this Golden State Warriors team. So I like Giannis there up at the top. Dame would be priced right. Bobby Portis would be priced right. Don't know if I prioritize him. Brook Lopez at 5.8K. Would like him quite a bit with Giannis out. with Giannis in, he's just kind of there for me. We'll talk about his rates in a second with Giannis Antetokounmpo off the court. Beasley, no thank you. Crowder, no thank you. I'm not going to touch the value. Now, if we get a situation where Giannis is out again, and can we talk about the reporting? They said Pat Connaughton was starting, and then the game started, and I see Patrick Beverley out there on the court, and I'm like, huh? What? So hopefully we get good reporting tomorrow. So if Giannis is out and they go with the same starting lineup of Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez, Malik Beasley, Jay Crowder, and Pat Beverley, I'm going to like Pat Beverley quite a bit at 4K. I think he'd stand out as a really, really solid value. We know he's a good point per minute guy. He played 34 minutes last game. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. He's a good defender. He literally checks all the boxes. So if we get Pat Bev in the starting lineup, once again, I do like him quite a bit. Beasley, no thank you. I mean, he's playable, but has a ceiling. I think I prefer the price point of Pat Bev. Content off the bench, if he comes off the bench, I don't think I'm going to go there. Jake Crowder didn't really play much. They closed with AJ Green for some reason. That was a bit confusing. And then back to the well. I really like Bobby Portis. I think Brook Lopez is a really, really good play in tournaments. He'll be really low, and he's over a fantasy point per minute guy with Giannis off the court, and people don't realize that. The price point's down. I like the spot. So, yeah, I like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis quite a bit. Damian Lillard, which stand out as one of the best spin-ups on the slate. So, yeah, there would be a lot to like here if Giannis does sit. Moving on to the Warriors, don't love much here. Steph's fine for GPPs. Good spot, though. Clay's fine. Potemski's fine. But this team, when they're healthy, they just run 11 bodies. Just absolutely disgusting. If I had to pick one to play, it would be Steph Curry. Moving on to OKC. Really, really good spot here. I mean, SGA has just been phenomenal. I think the guy that stands out to me the most is Chet Holmgren. Big's been absolutely feasting up against Portland. Prices come down, so I am really, really high on Chet Holmgren for GPPs on this slate. Jalen Williams is decent as well. He's going to play close to 40 minutes in a close game. What happened here? Did he get benched? Not entirely sure. But games prior, he was playing close to 40 minutes. I like the spot here up against Portland. Just can Portland keep this game competitive? If they do, two of these main three are going to smash. I think my favorite point per dollar is going to be Chet Holmgren, though. Josh Giddey at 5.1K, she'll play low 20s minutes, has a ceiling, it's fine, and I'm not going to play the value. All right, moving on to Portland. It's just tough to say right now. Now, if we get a situation where everyone's out that was out last game, then there's a lot to like here. Then Anthony Simons, if you're playing for a competitive game, is not going to leave the court. He's going to have to do everything for this team. If you are playing like SGA on the other side of this game, maybe it makes sense to play some Simons, right? So, yeah. If you think this game stays competitive, I really like Simons at 8.2K. Look who he's going to have to play alongside. He's going to play alongside Duop Reith, Jabari Walker, Chris Murray, Delano Ban, right? He's going to have the team to himself. So I think you have to have interest in Simons if all these guys are out. Other guys that I like quite a bit here, Duop Reith, he's going to have to play a ton of minutes. He played 40 minutes. I like him quite a bit. Jabari Walker's fine, but I probably would prefer Duop Reith. Chris Murray going to play all the minutes he can handle. He's playable, probably my least favorite. And then Delano Ban would stand out as one of the best value plays on the slate. Higgins would be in play as well. He got into foul trouble last game. Rupert should see around 20 minutes, playable dart in large field GPPs. And then it's just tough to say if we get one out, one in. You know, if Ayton's in, it's going to take me off the bigs. If Grant's in, it's going to be downgrades to everyone else. I don't know if I prioritize anyone from this team. If, you know, one of these guys are in or both of these guys. And then if Kamara's in, it's going to hurt the value. So it's kind of pretty much just up in the air right now. But did my best to go over it if those guys do sit. And then Chicago is a team that looks really solid here once again. Torrey Craig, doubtful here. So really good spot here up against Utah. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White, I think look really, really good at their price points. Vooch should be able to feast at 8.1K as well. I think he's decent. I would assume at 6K should play close to 40 minutes. He's very, very safe. Don't love the price point on Drummond. Alex Caruso, also another guy that's going to play over 30 minutes. Stat sheet stuffer, I don't mind him. So yeah, this Chicago team definitely looks really, really solid. And this Utah team looks good once again. So Markkanen out, Hendricks out, Walker Kessler out. Keontae George is questionable. He was sick last game, started, just didn't come back. So if we get a situation with Keontae George out, last game in the second half, they started with Sexton, Collins, Clarkson, Chris Dunn, and Samancic. I would assume that would be the starting lineup if that's the case. With that being said, I really, really like Chris Dunn at 4K. I really like Sexton, really like Collins, really like Clarkson. Now, it's not a good spot. It's a completely different situation to last game. They are in a tough matchup. But Chris Dunn would stand out to me a ton. The main guys would have to play a ton. John Collins would have to play a ton. Sexton, Clarkson, they would all have to play close to 40 minutes. Chris Dunn I would really like. THT would be a playable value. Samancic huffing and puffing up and down the court. He would be firmly in play at that price point. They dusted off Johnny Juzang. Bryce Sensabaugh would have to get run. But yeah, this game definitely looks pretty good. Moving on to the Clippers. Tough matchup here. Don't love much. They closed with Amir Coffey last game. Don't know why. Don't like Man's price. Powell, I think he's priced right. Zubac is okay, I guess. The main guys are firmly in play, but I think there are better spots that we can definitely attack for GPPs. Moving on to Houston, another team that I'm definitely pretty unappealed by in this matchup, going up against the Clippers, one of the toughest matchups you can possibly go up against. So I know Sengun had a massive game tonight, completely different spot here, but if you want to go back, that's fine. I know he's been a bit up and down of late. Fred VanVleet at 7.5, I would normally say he does seem a bit too cheap. He's been turning it on of late as well. Good thing with these guys, they're going to play close to 40 minutes, so like they're firmly in play just because the amount of minutes they're playing, they'll probably be low. And it's just a really bad spot. Jalen Green's playing 40 minutes tonight. Jabari probably my least favorite of the four. I don't know if I get to much else. Dylan Brooks is playable, but I think we'll have better value. All right, this is a team that we're going to have to keep an eye on inactives. They are not reporting inactives on Underdog, so I make updates on Reddit about this stuff, so make sure you check out Reddit. We knew that Goodwin was inactive last game. The game prior, we knew Jamison was going to be inactive, so definitely an edge there to check out Reddit, because this stuff is not getting reported by the big Twitter accounts. So Jaren's questionable. Assuming he's out, and assuming Goodwin is inactive again, then I think Kennard and Concha are both solid point per dollar plays. Both played around 30 minutes. Both are okay point per minute. I don't mind either. G.G. Jackson should play low 20s minutes. He's fine. Jamison started last game. He fouled out in 20 minutes. I actually would like him for value. It's just we're going to have a ton of value on this slate, but he would slide into another decent value. Aldama played big minutes, but I think a part of that was due to Jamison fouling out. And then Vince Williams be fine. And then if Jaren's in, I don't know if I get to anyone. Jaren, Vince, they're both fine. And then if Goodwin's in, it's going to hurt Kennard. It's going to hurt Conchard. This team would be really unappealing if Goodwin is in fact in. All right, moving on to the Sixers. So, I mean, tell us if Campaign's just not going to play much. I know we got there in the end, but how many minutes did he end with tonight? I want to say low 20s. Yeah, low 20s. So they went with starting lineup of Campaign, Mo Bamba, Kyle Lowry, Buddy Hield, and Tobias Harris. I believe was the lineup. Yeah, Tobias, Buddy Hield, Mo Bamba, Kyle Lowry, Campaign. So if we get a similar situation to that, I still think Kelly Oubre is going to play huge minutes off the bench. I think he stands out as one of the better mid-range plays in the slate. You just got to think there's a ton of usage to go around. Ton of minutes to go around. By the way, this is assuming Maxi's out. I would expect him to be out here. It's a concussion. So would really like Kelly Oubre. I think Kyle Lowry is very safe. He played huge minutes, stat sheet stuffer. He should have had a lot more assists tonight. His potentials were really good. Buddy Hield's fine, but probably my least favorite of the main guys. And then Tobias Harris will be their go-to guy. Has a really high ceiling. I think he'd be a decent play at 7.8K. And then really like Campaign, assuming he does start again. Another really good value. I don't know if I go to like Batum or these type guys or like the bigs. Moving on to Cleveland. So we'll keep an eye on Mobley. We'll keep an eye on Strus. Mobley got injured tonight. So say everyone's out. There is going to be a ton to like here if everyone's out. Darius Garland, I would love. Jared Allen, I would absolutely love. Sam Merrill would be a decent value. Karis LeVert would be very solid even at that price point. Okoro is firmly in play. Dean Wade probably starts, and as much as it pains me to say it, but he would actually be firmly in play for value at that price point. He would have to play a decent amount. Don't know if I go to anyone else though, like Niang. Niang will play a decent amount anyway, but I think I'd just get to like, I'd prefer Wade, I prefer Okoro, Sam Merrill, and the main guys. If Mobley is in and Strus is in, it's going to take me off Levert. It's going to take me off Merrill. It's going to take me off the value. I still would absolutely love the main three guys in this matchup going up against Atlanta in Mobley, Garland, and Allen. Moving on to Atlanta. Don't like much here. Bogdan Bogdanovic is dealing with an injury in his hand, so I probably wouldn't play him. DeJounte Murray I do like as a contrarian sped up just because he'll probably go low owned. Still has a really high ceiling, just a really bad matchup. Excuse me, Jalen Johnson's priced right. I think in this matchup they could play Clint Capella tons. Like, I guess that's a bit intriguing, but yeah, don't like too much on Orlando there. All right, moving on to Orlando. So really good spot here. Keep an eye on Gary Harris. If he's out, they probably just start like an Anthony Black. I don't know if I want to play Anthony Black, but it's going to be a bump to like Jalen Suggs. I guess he's reasonable. Wendell Jr. in this spot going up against Washington. He could feast, just the minutes are up and down with him. But if he gets his 30 minutes, if I knew Wendell Jr. played 30 minutes tomorrow, I'd probably play him at that price point. So do what you want with that info. Franz, Paolo, I think are decent options up in the mid-range. Franz might look a little bit better point per dollar, but I think both are solid. Moving on to Washington. So Bagley's out. Keep an eye on what they do with the starting lineup. I think regardless if they start like Holmes, I think they're going to play probably like some Kuzma or Denny at the backup 5 or some minutes at the 5. Like, I think Holmes probably plays like, if he starts, this is assuming he starts around 20 minutes, which makes him a decent value. But like I said, they could go to more Kuzma, they could go more Denny, they could also play Kispert a lot more. So there are scenarios where Holmes just doesn't play a lot, right? Just be a little bit careful there. But with that being said, the closing lineup last game after Bagley went down was Jordan Poole, Tyus Jones, Denny Abdija, Kyle Kuzma, and Bilal Coulibaly. Coulibaly is a playable value of 4.4K. His usage rate's been really, really bad of late, but he'll play big minutes. Kispert's fine. Jordan Poole, this matchup going up against Orlando, if you want to ride the hot streak, I guess it's okay. And I guess my favorite of the main guys is Kyle Kuzma, but pretty unappealing team if you ask me. And then if Holmes starts, you can play Holmes. It's fine. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next one.